Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from. The county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, is Bonny Khalwale, the senator for Kakamega, planning to dump William Samoei Arap Ruto for Raila Odinga? Or is it possible that the former governor for Kakamega, Wycliffe Oparanya, is the one who is planning to dump Raila Odinga for William Samoei Arap Ruto? Those are the two questions that most of you guys actually asked me after Boni Khalwale and Wycliffe Oparanya met yesterday in Kakamega.
But today we have said with Governor Oparanya that there can be nothing that would make us not to agree to work together for the sake of development of Kakamega. So we have said, me and Governor Oparanya, we will work together for the sake of development in this county. My community, they've asked me to come and ask Governor Oparanya for his support. So we are encouraging Governor Oparanya in 2027 not to aim low, to aim high. And we are prepared to support him in that position at the higher level that he's going to aspire for, because it should not be criminalized that when Kakamega asks for the highest position in the land, or the second highest position in the land, it is disrespectful to some other county in our community. And we would like Oparanya's colleagues in Azimio to understand him for that.
And even if you thought that we were enemies, in politics there is no permanent enemy and permanent friends. What is important is interest. But today we have sat together and we have decided to bury any differences that people thought that we had, so that we work together for the benefit of people of Kakamega and Luya as a whole.
And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives, I want us to look at the objective, because there is no way Boni Khalwale can just walk from wherever he was, then go for a meeting with Wycliffe Oparanya. And if you look at the people who were part of those meetings, it is clear that the meeting was intended to achieve certain political objectives. But the questions remain. Is Boni Khalwale planning to dump Ruto, or is Oparanya planning to join Ruto? For us to answer that question, I want to take you guys back to 1 month ago. 1 month ago, in Kakamega, Raila Odinga and the entire ODM brigades attended the burial of the former nominated Senator Omondi, who hails from Kakamega. And Boni Khalwale also attended that particular funeral. And this is what Boni Khalwale declared.
Ninamaliza kwa kumwambia kwamba I am tired. 2022 nilikuwa na replace huyo Oparanya, lakini Mudavadi akaja na hiyo roho nyepesi ya kusema ondoa bullfighter. Mheshimiwa Mudavadi, I tell you today from Mumias in Matungu, 2027 hauwezi kuniondoa. Nataka kukutana na Fernandes Barasa nimtoe kabisa. I want to be the governor of Kakamega, bullfighter of Kakamega, out of rubbish.
Now, from that declaration by Boni Khalwale, it is clear that Boni Khalwale is not happy with Musalia Mudavadi and his presence in Kenya Kwanza. As a matter of fact, on this platform, I've always opined severally that the ground is so hostile for majority of Kenya Kwanza leaders, especially from Western Kenya, to an extent that people like Boni Khalwale are no longer mentioning Kenya Kwanza and UDA wherever they are on the ground, especially during funeral activities in Kakamega County. The truth of the matter is that Ruto prefers Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi has preference for Cleophas Malala. Ruto appointed Malala as his party's SG, which is a sign of confidence. So Bonny Khalwale is not really sure of his space within Kenya Kwanza. But what was the objective of the meeting that took place yesterday? That's exactly what I want us to do in this particular video. But before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to also thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think was the objective of that particular meeting? Listening to this gentleman, the Lurambi member of parliament.
When two senior brothers in our community can get together on a table and talk to each other, that is very important. And what I want to say is some communities or some other leaders out there become very uncomfortable when our leaders sit together. Because sometimes we are used as diapers, whereby people use us politically for their own benefit. And every time we sit together, it irritates people. But this time around, it's very important that our senior leaders have chosen a path where they want to talk to each other, irrespective of political affiliation. We must collectively bring our ideas and our ideologies together and get a common ground which can bring or yield a result for our people in terms of development.
Now that Titus Hamala. Hamala is one of the people whose houses were pulled down by William Ruto in Kakamega. I don't think he can go to this meeting to do something or anything that can favor William Ruto. If anything, his moves and actions, because of bitterness, can only lead him to anywhere where William Ruto is being destroyed. And that's why, personally, I believe that Bonny Khalwale is preparing to join Azimio or Raila Odinga for that matter. But what was the objective of this particular meeting? Because you also realized that the governor for Kakamega was missing. What was the objective? Number one is the Luya politics. So who is the Luya kingpin as we speak? Is that person Musalia Mudavadi? Is that person Wetangula? Because let's face it, Musalia Mudavadi is currently the senior most political leader from the Luya nation. He's the prime cabinet secretary. Then Moses Masika Wetangula is the speaker of the National Assembly. So do we conclude that they are the kingpin? Or do we go by numbers? The truth is, Luya nation is predominantly ODM. If you were to go by numbers, ODM won in Vihiga, ODM won in Kakamega, ODM won in Busia, and it also performed not poorly in Bungoma. In Nairobi, majority of Luyas actually voted with ODM. But who is the kingpin? Do we assume that Oparanya, being the deputy party leader, is the kingpin? So Luyas' interest in 2027 is the motivation here. And I'm looking at Wycliffe Oparanya's interest in becoming the running mate. The truth of the matter is that in Azimio, Raila Odinga might not be on the ballot. And in case Raila Odinga is not going to be on the ballot, then it means someone from ODM must be the running mate. And I've maintained this, and I'm repeating, I'm seeing the possibility of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka pairing with Wycliffe Oparanya, or Eugene Wamalwa for that matter. So Kalonzo will decide, okay, the running mate must come from the Luya nation, because that's going to be the winning formula. And Oparanya is now trying to up his game by having Khalwale on his side. That gives him an edge over Wamalwa. Those are the realities. And should Oparanya become a running mate, then is there anything that will stop the Luhya nation or Kakamega for that matter, because Boni Khalwale comes from Kakamega, from rallying behind Oparanya? That's how I'm looking at it. Because let us look at numbers. In the last election, in Kakamega, Raila Odinga got 357,000 votes, which was 70% of the votes, while William Ruto got only 140,000. So which means there is no way you can defeat ODM in a fair contest in Kakamega. And Boni Khalwale has realized that. And in case Oparanya is going to be a running mate, then it means he's going to be elevated. And Boni Khalwale understands politics. He knows that things are not the same for William Ruto the way they were in the last election. So for me, the fact that Oparanya is planning to run as a running mate or a president is the reason why Boni Khalwale is trying now to move towards him. Number two, Boni Khalwale is not happy with Kenya Kwanza. I think Boni Khalwale is very angry with William Ruto. Because let's face it, Boni Khalwale was amongst the first leaders from the Luhya nation to risk their political ambitions for William Ruto. Then from nowhere, William Ruto then decides to start working with his opponent. Actually, it began by being pushed to go back to the Senate. Boni Khalwale had served as a senator. And there's a strong feeling that if Boni Khalwale had been given the UDA ticket, probably would have maneuvered his ways through to become the governor. But Musalia Mudavadi doesn't trust Boni Khalwale too. But that's not the man Ruto trusts. And because he's unhappy in Kenya Kwanza, he might even decide to forfeit UDA as a political party and maybe focus on his own ambitions, either to run as an independent candidate, because he believes that with the support of Azimio supporters from the ground, he can win. And that's why I began by giving you the figures. Raila Odinga got 357,000 votes. Ruto only 140. So that's a huge difference. Number three, Boni Khalwale also wants to run for the governor in 2027. So I tend to think that his ambition is pegged on the fact that Kenya Kwanza might front the former senator for Kakamega, Cleophas Malala, who is the Secretary General of UDA party. And if that were to happen, then he will not have a space because he doesn't want to go back to the Senate. And maybe he has realized that for him to win the Senate, he must align himself accordingly. That's what I'm thinking. So his ambitions can only succeed if he aligned himself with Azimio. Number four, the ground is actually hostile for Kenya Kwanza. The truth of the matter is that the ground is hostile for Kenya Kwanza. Boni Khalwale, even if he were to run on UDA party, would not want a situation where he is facing hostility. And because his ambitions are also pegged on a political party, Boni Khalwale, I think, wants to try to dissociate from Kenya Kwanza, so that by 2027, he'll be able to explain to people that I was the senator, but I really was never part and parcel of that Kenya Kwanza. And lastly, this meeting is part of Boni Khalwale's strategy. And it's a strategy that he used effectively in the last election. He wants to appeal to Azimio supporters in Kakamega. Because there is no way Boni Khalwale could win the Senate on UDA while Raila Odinga getting 357,000 votes. There was no way. So it means there are people who believed in Boni Khalwale, or there's a way Boni Khalwale never antagonized Azimio or ODM for that matter in Kakamega. So he wants to appeal to those supporters again, so that even if he were to run again, then there is ODM, then there is UDA, he will still be viewed. Remember, in the last campaign, Boni Khalwale would even campaign for Baraza. So I don't know what to think. But in conclusion, I'm 100% convinced that Bonny Khalwale is either on his way to Azimio or is on his way out of Kenya Kwanza. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Do you support Bonny Khalwale's move to dump William Ruto? Until next time, Lee Makwiny.